Good evening, YouTube. I'm back again. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. Wasn't feeling that well. Got some family things going on. But hope everybody had a blessed day today. Everybody made it home safe um, and that everybody's snug and tug. Um, Today's topic, we're going to talk about bullying. Um, I know how it feels to be bullied. I was bullied when I was in school, and bullying is really, really bad nowadays. It's always been there, but now it's more out there because of the social media. And there are a lot of young kids that are killing themselves, which is so sad. But I know how they feel. It doesn't feel good to be bullied, just because you're different or because people want to be part of the in crowd. So they want to follow along. You know, when I was in school, I was bullied because I was different. My hair was thin, and I was called bald headed, and things like that because I was different from everyone else. And so people jumped on the bandwagon, and it's hard to make friends when everybody wants to be with the cool kids. So that went on most of my school years. And then you try to have female friends or girlfriends, and you can't trust them because they smile in your face and they talk about you behind your back. And then the boys, even if they do like you, because they want to, like I said, be with the cool crowd, they jump on the bandwagon, and instead of being leaders, they're followers. And they don't know how much it affects you and hurts you. Many a days I used to go home and cry, and I never understood why. I'm a human being. Why was I treated so bad? And it even got to the point, even my siblings, you know, would, jump on the bandwagon as well. And it was very hurtful. And then when you feel like you have no one to turn to, no one to talk to, you feel worthless. You feel like nobody understands you, like you don't belong, you know, and you're just non-existent. And you don't want to fight back, you know. And then when you don't fight back, people assume that you're weak, So throughout my school years, I didn't smile. I'm not a person that smiles a lot. So they used to tell me, she never smiles, or because the way my facial expressions were, that I was mean. I wasn't mean. I was hurt. And back then I didn't know about depression. It gotten so bad that I was severely depressed, and my family didn't know, the school didn't, recognize it like they do nowadays. And as well, I didn't know what was going on. I was sleeping in class, didn't do my schoolwork. I got to the point where I didn't even care. So one day, I was in ninth grade. It's like 14. Between going through the issues at home, not feeling like I was loved at home, and then going through the issues in school of being bullied and talked about and treated wrong, and feeling worthless and feeling like, you know, I just didn't want to exist. So I felt in my heart that, well, my family, could do without one less child. That's one less person they have to feed. That's one less person they have to worry about. And then I said, the people in school, I'm going to kill myself. And I'm going to do it in school, so maybe they'll understand the next person that they treat like this. Maybe they won't do it. So I decided to take a handful of whatever, a whole bunch of pills that was in the cabinet. Didn't even know what they were. Didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, didn't know anything about depression or any of the stuff that we know nowadays. I kissed my little brother and told him I loved him, and, gave, my sister some things, and didn't know that, those were signs of, you know, someone trying to kill themselves. I just was like, I'm not going to be here anymore, so, just wanted to say my goodbyes. So I went to school, and um, I had a handful of friends. Most of them were my cousins, that I hung around, and I told my cousin what I did, and I said, well, maybe this is a lesson for them to learn that you shouldn't treat people like this. So of course she told the teacher, and they sent me down to the guidance counselor, and they called 911, and they asked me what I took, and I told them, they would take my blood pressure and everything, and they wheeled me out of the school in a stretcher, and everybody's, glued to the windows looking, and, I was embarrassed, but I truly wanted to die. I didn't want to exist. No one understood how I felt, between home and school. I didn't want to live anymore. And people don't understand how it affects your life, even as a child, but even as growing up. It has affected my life, the type of person that I am. You know, um, it has affected me. And the funny thing is that some of the people that bullied me and talked about me and treated me like that are Facebook friends of mine. But I've never confronted anybody or told them how they made me feel or anything, and how it changed me as a person. Um, some for the good, some for the bad, you know. But instead of them trying to get to know me, they tore me down, you know. And even to this day, I I think about some of the stuff that I went through, and I can understand these children nowadays, how they feel, how you just don't want to exist in this world, and nobody understands you, and you don't feel loved or accepted. Those who bully people, you need to think. You really need to think how that's going to affect that person. And if that person decides to take their life because of what you did to them, that should make you feel like the worst person in the world. It really should. You know, it's nothing worse than a bully. A bully is probably one of the lowest things in this world. You know, and I try to treat people how I want to be treated. And you know, I am just surprised how, I'm not surprised, but it bewilders me how much it affects you, even as an adult. How it affects how you treat people or how you interact with people or situations. But if you ever been bullied and you understand where I'm coming from, leave me a comment, and watch your children. Watch the signs, you know. Always watch your children for any kind of signs of depression, or always ask them what's going on, even when they tell you nothing. You know, use your parental instincts, because there might be something going on that you don't know. And then if you don't take the time to find out, it might be too late. So I'm going to sign off and say goodnight. And how they say, like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a blessed night. And I'll be keeping you all in my prayers. God bless.